anything about that.
3, 2, 1.
Tony is revving up for the morning's exercise program. We're here at the NBC5 Health and Fitness Expo at Navy Pier, and we're going to be back to show you a lot more about how to get off the couch.
I don't want to see the same crap over and over. This is the original Angry Chair. Alice in Chains, Lane, who's now departed, was on tour and he wrote the song Angry Chair. This is the Angry Chair from Alice in Chains. You can tell on the back. It's also anatomically correct. I can't go into that, but if you look at the drawing, you can see all the stuff on it. He signed it down there. Yeah. See Lane right there. And while he was still alive, nobody cared. And this thing was being wheeled around. Everybody come in, wheel yourself around in a chair, you know. Yeah. But now that he's dead, we had to put this little sign on here so it, you know, looks a little better. But, you know, like Chris Isaac sent us a surfboard. Did this is Radiohead. We did this album. We recorded this back when the first tour of America, they came here at the Metro. And that's back when we could shoot the whole thing. And this became a big bootleg.
Hey, welcome back to Nude Hippo, your Chicago show. I'm Tony Losano. I don't know what I'm introducing, but enjoy this. Here, watch this. This is something.
Hey, we're at the Fitness Expo to find all kind of great ways to get ourselves motivated to losing some weight. You ready, boys? Yeah. Let's get out of here. Hi, I'm Nick Rosario here at the NBC5 Fitness Expo, and I'm here with President and General Manager of Channel 5, Mr. Larry Wert. Larry, what was the genesis for this event?
Well, Nick, we had a health fair here in Chicago sponsored by NBC about 7 years ago, and that was the last time we did this. Since then, we saw last year that Chicago was ranked #2 in the country for being the least healthy city. I think we came in second to Houston. Thank God someone won. But we've been talking about fitness, overall wellness, and thought we could have a great event that would provide a lot of information and entertainment and just raise the top-of-mind awareness of healthy living.
So what do you do to stay in shape? You seem like a pretty fit man, so what are some of the things you like to do to stay in shape?
I try to eat healthy, but I'm not always good at that. I have a treadmill at home, and I use it as often as I can. And I like to stay active when I can, but it doesn't always work as, boy. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, now segue into a new show.
Well, it is Nude Hippo.
I thought you were talking to me. Hey, is that great? Be fortunate that he only showed from the top up, because there was a day he showed from the bottom down, and we don't want to see that. Danny Bonaduce, ladies and gentlemen, former Chicago radio personality and on the Loop, AM and FM, and former child actor loser.
Well, listen, Larry, we want to thank you for taking the time out with us to talk briefly, and we hope to see you later. Thanks for your time.
Hey, Dick, say hi to Tim, and always say hi to the great fans of the Nude Hippo show.
Thank you very much. I'm here with Martha Savala, head pharmacist here for Roscoe Drug. And the reason we're here is I'm going to get my blood sugar level checked. This is an important thing because this is a determining factor in diabetes, which is a very big killer. Martha, can you give us like some numbers on percentages of diabetes in the country?
Sure. There's about 16 million Americans who have diabetes, and about half of these people don't even know they have it. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to identify people that could be at risk for it, and then testing them. And if they're really high, we refer them to their doctor so they can get a real diagnosis for the disease.
Okay, so right now, talk through what we're going to do with me here. I'm going to get mine checked. What exactly are we going to do here?
Well, actually, all we do is we take a little finger prick and we take some blood glucose. We put it into a reagent strip, which goes ahead and reads the blood glucose in your blood. So it takes about 45 seconds, so it's a very quick test, and that'll give us a ballpark to see how your sugar levels are doing, or give us a reading for that.
Okay, and when we're looking at the reading, generally what are we looking at? What's high, what's low, what's average? What are we doing?
Okay, well, when people are fasting, that means like they haven't had any food for about 8 hours. We're looking less than 110, 120. When they're actually fed, then we're looking at less than 140. Okay, so right now when I do your test right now, since it's the middle of the day, we're looking for no more than 140.
Okay, so mine should be no more than 140, otherwise it would be considered high.
Well, it would be considered high, and if you have 200, then we would definitely refer you to the doctor to make a diagnosis for you.
All right, here we go, folks. I'm going to take my test now. Martha says she's not going to hurt me, but I don't know. I think she's fooling with me.
No, this is very quick and easy.
Ready?
Yeah, you know what? We want to let the alcohol dry completely,
Okay.
so that it doesn't smear and it doesn't hurt as well. There we go.
All right, that wasn't too bad, I guess.
No, it's not bad at all. When you consider with so much advancements, these machines are very practical and very easy to use. And I recommend that any person who has diabetes should have a blood glucose monitor.
Okay, and these can be bought at drugstores, or can we find these at any local, or do we have need a doctor's prescription for these?
No, these are over the counter, and any patient can go to the pharmacy, any local pharmacy, and purchase one.
All right, how long before we know?
There we go. We're at 135, so it looks like you're okay.
I'm at 135. I'm okay. Well, this is Nick Rosario reporting for the Big Fat Nude Hippo Show. I want to thank Martha. And wow, guys, my test came out okay. All right. Thank you.
And now here's the beautiful Lonna Larger with the Naper Settlement.
Hi, I'm Lonna with Nude Hippo, your Chicago show, and we are here today at Naper Settlement out in Naperville. It's about a half an hour from the city, and it is worth the drive, especially if you kind of want to get away from the city for a day and take in some culture and beauty. This is a 19th century working historic village where you can see how people actually lived back then. And we're here today at Naper Settlement, and I'm talking to Debbie. Hi, Debbie, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks. Now, Debbie, what do you do here at Naper Settlement?
Well, I'm the curator of exhibits and research, and I've been on staff here for the past 11 years. And basically, I work in developing our exhibits and exhibition schedules, both for our permanent and changing exhibits, as well as manage building restorations on our grounds.
Wow, sounds like a big job.
There's a lot to do, and there's always something different every day, which makes it really enjoyable. Well, this is our blacksmith shop. It is a working shop, and we have staff and volunteers that are trained in blacksmithing that demonstrate on a daily basis the different techniques and history of blacksmithing. This is representing the 1880s in Naperville, and at that time, actually, Naperville had 7 blacksmith shops in town, for a town that had a population of around 3,000 people.
Now, next to the blacksmith shop, we have the print shop, of course, and tell me a little bit about that.
Naperville had several newspapers early in its history, the most prominent one being the Naperville Clarion, which is now the Naperville Sun, and we, in our printing shop here, have a Babcock press as well as a couple other smaller presses, and we do print with volunteer printers that make different things for the site and staff to use, as well as bookmarks for children to take home. This is an 1883 Victorian home that's on the National Register of Historic Places, and it was original to this property. George Martin was a brick and tile manufacturer in Naperville, and when his daughter passed on, she was the last surviving heir of the family, she willed the house and the surrounding 212 acres to the city of Naperville to be opened as a house museum, and it did in 1939. Since then, we've had many, many visitors coming through, and now that the Naperville Heritage Society has been administering the building since 1969, when we moved the chapel here that we saw before, it has needed some work to stabilize the structure and preserve it for another 100 years.
Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam and the deer and the antelope play.
Lonna,
Oh.
it's 2003, not 1830s.
Right. I'm getting stuck.
You've lost yourself here at Naper Settlement.
I know. It's so easy to do, though, Debbie. It's so fun.
Well, that is great to hear.
Well, tell me more.
Well, we're sitting in a Conestoga wagon, which is a wagon that we just got done restoring last year. And as you can see, we welcome people to come and sit in it and have a photo op with their family and friends and get a feel for what it would be like to be in the moving van of that time.
Now, are all these buildings the same? Are they the originals, or are they recreated, or how does that work?
Many of the buildings are original buildings to the city of Naperville. There are a few reconstructions that are based on buildings that were torn down in its history. We are in our summer season hours. We're open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 4 and Sundays from 1 to 4. But people can check out our website at www.napersettlement.org.
Here's everyone's favorite, Chunks of Konrad!
He's our favorite weatherman. Who? Mornings on WGN. Who?
Okay, is it required doing the when you're doing the weather? You sit in the big chair over there. There's a camera right here that you look into. There's the monitor. And is it required that you have to look at the picture of Tom and Steve up there?
Right. When I come in, I genuflect. I acknowledge the pictures. I take communion, and then I'm allowed to go ahead and start forecasting from there.
There's more to come right here on Nude Hippo, your Chicago show. Stick around.
I'm Phil Ponce from WTTW 11, and you're watching Nude Hippo, your Chicago show.
And now here's Kerra Penn checking out Ben Hollis as he sings in his new career. He's a singer. Check this out. This is so fun.
Hey, it's great to have you all here, Wise Fools.
Hi, this is Kerra Penn with Nude Hippo, your Chicago show. And I'm with the very talented Ben Hollis tonight. Hi, Ben. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here, Kerra. Rock on.
Now, I know that, of course, everybody knows you from Wild Chicago, Ben Around Town, Ben Loves Chicago.
Good.
And what are we here to see tonight?
Well, tonight I'm showing my music.
Hey, Chicago, you're watching the Nude Hippo Show, and I'm Jerry Bryant. Now, coming up in just a few minutes at 8 o'clock every Thursday night after the Nude Hippo Show, it's JVTV.
There's a waitress, at least till she gets her big grade. Now we go to dinner, she orders lobster.
Can you buy the CD right now at stores?
No, I'm keeping them all to myself. No, they're not available. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, yeah. They're Tower Records in Lincoln Park, and they're also at www.benhollis.com.
Got to get the plug in.
Yeah, or cdbaby.com.
Any other gigs you have coming up that people can come out and see you?
All through late summer and into the fall, we'll be doing shows at Borders bookstores.
What's your goal with this? Do you want to be on a world tour? Do you want to be the next Rolling Stones? What's your ultimate goal with this?
Maybe. Yeah, I want to be the Rolling Stones, yeah. Well, I would like to be able to let this generate enough income and interest and excitement that I could, do it professionally and not have to do other stuff. My goal is just to put the music out to as many people as possible because I know it makes people happy. I see them after shows, during shows. They're happy like when they watch my TV show, and it's sort of awkward to be blowing my own horn, but at this state, when you start out, you got to blow your own horn. So I'm starting all over in a wild way, and it's good for my humility, and but I'm happy about what I'm doing. It's great stuff.
I'm driving my car on the sidewalk. The people now.
I noticed there's so many different styles to your music. How do you incorporate that all and get a flow to it?
Yeah, I don't know. We just do it, It's like the only constant thing is that I wrote the songs, so except for The Treasure, the real quiet, the one that started out very quietly, that was the one I wrote with Donna Shadell, but I've thought about that, but I just thought that it's not worth worrying about. I wrote the songs, they all have different styles, so let's just do them, let's just deliver them.
Do you think that's sort of symbolic of the type of person you are, because you're very multifaceted yourself and there's all these different styles, and what do you think, Ben?
That might be, yeah.
I think we may be onto something.
I like that, yeah. I'm just so complex and interesting and multi-layered.
I don't wanna go to sleep. I don't wanna go to sleep. I'd rather stay awake dreaming of a last yesterday.
Can I ask you, because I loved a lot of the songs, but that song, The Treasure, it sounded very spiritual. Was that?
Yeah, absolutely was. It's definitely a song about being of service, I think, and The thing about that song is I wrote it like, I don't know, a few years before September 11, 2001, but when that happened and I played the song again, it's like, oh my God, maybe this song was about the event that hadn't even happened yet, because there's this thing about digging for stuff, and I could see images of the guys clearing away the wreckage, you know, and trying not to give into the hatred.
'Cause everything happens in God's time. I said God's time, not mine. So give me patience. Give me faith to know my
You can email me from my website, benhollis.com.
And that's also to see your music. You can find out about your show date.
Right, you can hear the tunes, you can download a tune for free, and you can find out about show dates too, benhollis.com.
Okay, and one more, and to see Ben around town.
Oh, Channel 20 WICC every Friday night at 7 and Sundays at 7:30.
Live your life!
Thank you. You've been a lovely audience. Thanks so much.
Get your construction helmets on. It's time for Joe Kraslen over at the Air and Water Show.
Joe Kraslen here at North Avenue Beach for the Chicago Air and Water Show. We're going to see how much trouble we can get in today. I'm here with Herb Hunter, announcer for the annual Air and Water Show. How many years have you been doing this?
16 years as the announcer. I've been in the show for 23. So
what do you mean in the show?
23 years ago I flew the KC-135 in the show. 2 years in a row I flew it. So when you watch the tanker go by with the F-16s in tow, that's how I got my start here. Then I did 5 years as an announcer for the military. They liked what they saw and hired me, and I'm like a bad penny. I just keep turning up.
So what's the most exciting thing that has happened here in the Chicago Air and Water Show?
Well, you know, for the fans, the most exciting thing is always the jet team. A jet team means so much to an air show, and the mayor's office works so hard to make sure we have a jet team every year. We are a big show, but you know, there are a lot of air shows around the country today. There are only 2 jet teams, so only 2 of those shows have jet teams, and we get one, and it's great. And so the fans, that means a lot to them. We're going to have a B-52 bomber from back Vietnam era days,
and Richard Simmons, right?
And Richard Simmons, yeah.
And so when the show's going on, you'll be up at the podium announcing over the loudspeakers to everyone here to tell them what's coming up and what's happening and what's going on.
And the speakers go up about a mile up the beach, so those people are stuck listening to me.
We're dead center landing here with our beautiful American flag.
Hey, I'm here with a guy who just jumped out of the plane. How's it going?
Oh, you know, you're not here with a guy that just jumped out of a plane. I'm with Liquid X Freestyle. I'm a freestyler. I'm an acrobat on a jet ski.
You didn't jump out of the plane?
No, I didn't jump out of the plane. My boats are all laid up along the shore. Did you see our water show this morning at 9 o'clock?
So you didn't jump out of the plane? No, don't shoot this, Pat. Don't shoot. Shoot me when I'm doing something. Don't shoot fireworks in the day, okay? Okay, you've got the tent here today. How early did you have to get here to set this up? And if you got here that early, why are you so far back?
Well, we figure we'd rather be near the bathrooms than near the exit.
That's a good strategy. Close to the washrooms. That's very good. How much are you drinking today?
Oh, it's a lot of water early in the morning, maybe a few beers in the afternoon.
More than a few.
More than a few. Okay, you got me on that one.
Gonna get a picture. What's your name, honey? Danielle. Danielle's gonna take a picture. She's gonna send it back to the Nude Hippo. So what's your favorite part of the Air and Water Show today? I say the water.
Drinking.
The drinking.
Thank you.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I've been hit by bombs that have been dropped from planes like these. These types of planes, F-16s, B-52s, all these planes drop tons of bombs. They kill people.
So you're saying that you have been bombed today?
There are people who have actually been bombed.
But you haven't been bombed.
I haven't. I'm bringing those people here because they can't be here because fucking dead, dude. But I will say, the U.S. government, corporate, military structure has done nothing but go around the world and exploit people and resources, and they are willing to kill to do it, and they've proven that again and again, and we should not celebrate that. We should challenge that.
So if you had one thing to do to change the world, or one thing to do to change...
The bombs are falling!
They're not actually falling, dude. They're just flying by.
They're falling somewhere, bud.
They're not falling here, though.
Yeah, so that's okay if they're falling somewhere else in your name? So
what do you believe? What do you believe we're doing in...
the U.S., I believe exactly what I said. The U.S. government, corporate, military structure has done nothing but go around the world and exploit resources. And if they want to fool you into believing that they're there to save people, then that's your own gullibility. But I'm going to challenge people to look at the truth and to say, hey, we have a certain lifestyle because of the fact that we have a strong military. What needs to happen is we need to, as a culture and a society, stop glamorizing and supporting military, corporate aggression and exploitation.
And how do you do that? How do you do that?
Resources. Step by step. Just like what I'm doing. Each person takes one small step. Today I'm taking one small step. You can check out s4sj.org.
Is that your website?
It's a group that I sometimes work with, but I'm an individual. I'm not in any organization, but that has some good info on there. You know, imc.org is another great website.
What are you using for blood?
To get, well, all right, for people who want to try to do this.
No, what are you using for blood?
For people who might want to try to do this.
All right, I'll let you tell me if you tell me what you're using for blood.
Yeah, no, I'm going to tell you.
No, tell me what you're using for blood, and then I'll let you say it. Go ahead.
No, I'm going to tell you because the reason.
No, I need to know what you're using for blood, and then I'll let you promote whatever you want to promote.
I'm saying the real.
No. Do you understand me? What are you using for blood, and then I'll let you promote it.
That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, what we use, and I would encourage people to also do similar things. There's air shows all over the country, and there's
No. The question is, what are you using for blood? No, not get there. I want to know now. Tell me what you're using for blood.
We use a combination of Caro syrup and food coloring. Yeah, so are people who would drop bombs and glorify that.
Assholes.
Thanks, buddy.
Bomb dropper.
Here's everyone's favorite, Chunks of Konrad!
He's our favorite weatherman. Who? Mornings on WGN. Who?
You actually do the weather, and then when the graphic's on, you're just actually thumbing through the newspaper.
Right, actually, I'm desperately trying to find a job, right? So I try to get this in. I'm obsessed with it, just trying to find a better job somewhere else, so I can do a lot of things all at the same time. Forecasting and being on TV is easy, but finding a better job, not as
How can you get any better than this when you get the red eye for free?
Right, it's unbelievable. We are the only ones. This is really the first time I've ever seen the Tribune Company give something away for free. Probably it's a week old, but I still read it. It's still stuff.
There's more to come right here on Nude Hippo, your Chicago show.
Hi, I'm Rob Johnson from ABC7. You're watching Nude Hippo, your Chicago show.
Hey, you remember when the Chicago Cubs almost made it to the World Series? Yeah, that was great, huh? Well, we sent Kathleen O'Shaughnessy out to Wrigley Field to get a pulse of what the Cubs fans were thinking that day. Let's remember that.
Here we are, big fat Nude Hippo, your Chicago show at Wrigley Field. It's a big game. They win this one, and then they get to go on to the division finals. And we're standing in front of the press credentials, which we don't have. So we're interviewing all the really cool people who are showing up here on their way in.
Peanuts, salted peanuts, I've got salted peanuts. Hey, salted peanuts all game long.
6 months old, has experienced nothing but a winning Cubs season.
Most definitely.
The Cubbies all the way, right?
Did you do anything special to get ready for today?
I did. I had 3 beers.
We got a bunch of blue-haired woo girls. Woo! Go Cubbies! Woo! It's the high guy. Did you do anything special to get ready for today? Are you dressed differently in any way?
Oh, a little. Yeah. Hey, salted peanuts, sing my song.
The happiest Cubs fan in the world.
He is.
So, what have you been doing while you're here?
interviewing you?
Yeah, we'll take turns. So,
Okay,
what have you
tag
been
team.
doing? Yeah.
This is probably the single best assignment in the history of local news.
Is this your goat, or did you rent this goat?
No. This is the goat of the nephew of Sam, the owner of Billy Goats, who tried to initially bring the original goat in. This is a later goat, however.
So it's more of a family thing, a goat family thing, and now the grudge from the goat family is gone.
They let him on, yeah. The curse is over.
What is a bigger event, the wedding or the game?
That's hard to say. The wedding, though.
Absolutely.
I never drink, but I figured 3 beers for the Cubs for 3 wins.
That's great.
Right?
So how
What'd
many?
you do?
I wore makeup. Do people keep grabbing your ass?
Only when I'm live on TV, and half the time it's a guy that's doing it, and I try to explain to them that it doesn't work so much for me.
Usually that's a sign for us that we should interview that person.
Exactly.
The Cubs have always done well in the first decade of the century. Come on.
Hey, grab your nuts. Don't be afraid.
This has been a presentation of Opie Productions.
Tony, can you shut up?
Thanks for watching. This has been another fabulous episode of Nude Hippo, Your Chicago Show Remix.
Happy 20th anniversary, Nude Hippo! That's right, I was a Nude Hippo-er too. I don't know if that's how you say it, but Tony, thank you for the opportunities early on. Look where it led me, right here to Good Morning America. Happy 20th.